Pilots, get ready to secure the site.
Hi everyone, it's Richard, aka Colonel Red from BritXbox. Just a few words on Xbox One's latest and biggest new game release since the console was launched back in November last year. This is TitanFall from Respawn. It's kind of a big deal, you might have heard of it. There's been massive hype around this game since it was announced several months back now, and it's seen by Microsoft at least as their big hope, their system seller for their new console. On first impressions, I have to say it doesn't look particularly next gen. There are significant screen tearing problems, and really it doesn't, just overall it doesn't look like it's much beyond the capabilities of the Xbox 360. We'll see just how close that is when the 360 version launches at the end of March this year. But it's disappointing to see that not more has been done with this visually. That is kind of the whole reason people buy next gen consoles, isn't it? But anyway, it's fair to say that this is serviceable at least visually, and they are working on improving at least the resolution, hopefully those screen tearing problems. But beyond that, I don't think the visuals have been the focus of Respawn in their development of this game. That's always been about the game. As a completely multiplayer experience, it's important they got that right, get the right balance, make it smooth to play, low latency controls, and I think on those counts they've succeeded here. It's very easy to pick up and play, it's very immediate, not like your Battlefield 4s where you'll be trying to catch up with the hardcore for several hours before you get a look in. You can just jump right into this, and you do need to jump. Forgive the pun. So this isn't just about running across floors and hallways. You need to utilise the entire map that's available to you, and really try and throw people off with your movements, be as unpredictable as possible. If you just run across the floor like I did there, you will die. And there's a Titan you just saw there stamping on my corpse. I'll have a Titan shortly. If you look to the bottom right hand corner of the screen, you'll see an indicator showing how far off my Titan is. You can only call them down once you've waited a sufficient time. Now I've got one ready, I can call that down now. Oh, it's landed on my head, that didn't go well. Anyway, maybe I'll get another one before this video's out. Now the Titans actually mix up the gameplay really well. I find typical FPS games will start to become quite repetitive after a relatively short amount of time, for me at least. There's kind of a rock paper scissors feel to running down a corridor, being shot, running down a corridor, shooting someone. It all gets a bit samey, but with the Titans they add a multitude of tactical possibilities, and the balance between the Titans and the pilots is really well achieved. You'll see here I've just mounted an enemy Titan and I'm shooting its brains out, kind of like that Robocop scene, right? The ED209. So they are vulnerable to pilots, very much so. And it's counterintuitive to begin with. Actually, when you start playing with a Titan, you think it's going to be all powerful, but really you just need to play just as defensively but in a different way. You can actually use them as a distraction, even if you don't want to get into them and put yourself at risk of becoming a target. Just put it on guard mode or autopilot and it will do its own thing while you're busy working somewhere else in the map. I think overall this is a game that is going to last a long time. As a multiplayer game it has to, but the fundamentals are there for this to carry on pulling people back for some time to come. And aside from the campaign, which I won't go into because there's really nothing there to comment on, this is a highly recommended game. It doesn't live up to the hype, but you must get it.